Hey guys, how you doing? It's Henry at Mowers and Blowers. Welcome to another episode. This, as you guys know, is my Dayton haul. Got a lot of work to it only because it was just like a project. I just want to know if I can get it going, you know? I did get it going, but the transmission shifter is no good. Meaning that sometimes it shifts okay, sometimes it doesn't. It's not an enjoyable hauler to even have, you know? But seems like this flathead 11 horsepower Briggs & Stratton engine runs pretty good. You guys know those flatheads. They're pretty much indestructible. Anyway, today I'm going to be taking this engine out, chucking the rest of it, keeping the good parts, and putting this engine in this LT1000 hauler that my friend Nick from Bellport gave me. It's pretty much complete, just doesn't have a deck, doesn't have a seat, has some yucky paint on it, and it has a busted front end, just a little bit. But I think I might try to repair the front end with just some stick welding. Put the 11 horsepower engine in here because this does not have a good engine. It has a blown engine in it. I'm gonna get an air tire inflator and pump up these tires, push this to the front, hopefully drive this to the front too, remove the engine, put it on the other one. Strip this of its parts, get rid of the carcass. Just saw this on my hands. I've been touching my face. You see anything in my face? It is a hot one today. Probably 95. Humidity's insane. Heat index is 10 out of 10, man. It's really hot. Anyway, this tractor's not bad. Look at it. It's in decent shape. I only had to pump up 3 of the tires. A little bit of fix-a-flat will fix that. This is a manual transmission, and I know it works because Nick was doing wheelies on it, and that's how the front end got broken. He always likes to play with them before he gives them to me. Good for me, right? Anyway, so I was going to drive the Dayton out, and I realized that I took the battery out of there and put it into that dumpster hauler that I had sold. So I don't have a battery for this, even if I do get it going. But anyway, it has good parts on it. Look at it. When do you find a free hauler that has a good PTO engagement cable? Scores! So, should I remove the engine and attach it onto this first, or should I fix the front end first? I think we should first figure out whether or not that engine runs on this and it moves and all that stuff before we can do all that, right? So I'm going to remove this engine, mount it onto here, strip that down to what I don't want, including the transmission because I know it works and I might use it for something else. And then we'll get started on putting the engine onto here. Yes, of course I'm choosing one of the hottest days to do this. Well, this is next on the agenda, so you know what? You come out and you do it. As you can see, I've taken the engine off of the Dayton, stripped some of the stuff, took the hood off, mounted the 11 horsepower flathead Briggs & Stratton engine that seems to run pretty well. Mounted it on here, got the double stack pulley from there, original, put it back in there. When I put this on, I realized that Nick had taken the drive belt. That's fantastic. So now I had to go into my backyard and find that big box full of 1,000 drive belts and mower deck belts, and I have no idea what length it is. So I just took one, sort of measured, found one that's a little bit bigger, put it on, and it turns out it's perfect. It's a perfect drive belt for an LT1000. I did have a lot of them, so the majority of the belts in that box are LT1000 mower deck belts and drive belts. So now I've got the drive belt on there, the double stack pulley on there, the engine is mounted. Now the wiring is a different story. That wiring had Dayton wiring, you know, a mishmash of homemade wires that go whatever. But for an engine, all you need is a magneto kill wire, a trigger to the solenoid one, a positive and a negative. So you only need 4 connections. So I'm pretty sure I can find whatever wire I need and put it into the original wiring harness of a Craftsman LT1000. I have one of these things. I don't know where it is. I'm not too sure about how this muffler is going to work, because I definitely don't have a muffler for this, for a flathead. At least I don't think I do. So I might have to use this one. This one moves. I mean, I always kind of thought this was cool though, but you know, I don't know how I'm going to mount it, you know what I mean? It's going to get in the way of the foot pedal. Now this thing, I got to fix this thing before I put another wheel on here. The wheel that I had on here is just completely done, just trashed. I put some Fix-A-Flat in it, just comes right out because the crack's too big. I got to show you this thing that I plan on welding. All right, you see that? You see how this is? So this spindle goes into a sleeve. That sleeve is isolated in this front end axle. This piece here is part of the sleeve, okay? As you can see, this outer part of the axle is flared and bent outward. So you have this kind of play. I'm gonna take a sledgehammer and bang this part in, then use a clamp and hold it in, and then stick weld this part to this part so that this part and this part is one piece. And hopefully this will not have this kind of play. If it just has a little play, I guess it's supposed to be okay like this. But if it's like this, you're gonna have a toe out or toe in condition. So I do have a couple of front ends, but they don't look like this. So I don't want to bother trying to finagle and manufacture and modify a way for it to work. I think we could fix this one. So I'm gonna get my stick welder out, bang this in. Sorry fellas, because it's so hot out, the phone died just when I was about to weld. Anyway, here it is. Bunch of beads on there. This thing's solid now. There's no play whatsoever. So that's fixed. Put a tire that I think holds air in it. Now I'm gonna do the wiring. Wish me luck. Of course, when Nick took off the battery, he didn't have the patience to take off the nut, so he just cut it. So I have to find a loop and then splice this, put it onto there. And that's how you do it. You splice up the cables, you spread them out, you mesh it with this. I don't have any more batteries for tractors, so I'm using this new LifePo 4 one. It's 12 volt, 20 amps. I don't know about cranking power, but I don't know, I'm gonna try it.
Okay, secured the battery, did minimal wiring. I just put on the solenoid, power, stator. I didn't do the kill yet. Just gonna see if it cranks and turns over. I disconnected the magneto. So the battery is like for a computer battery backup, so it has no cranking power. But it does get going once this starts. But it doesn't have enough power to get it past the compression stroke. That's why. Put a jumper pack to it so it has higher amps. Lots of cranking amps. What's that noise? Too hot? So the way these old engines are designed, there was a magneto wire that went to the throttle bracket. Then from the throttle bracket, it went to a mechanism from where the throttle lever, when you put it all the way down, it grounded it. So it was still touching the frame. That's why I was probably not getting a spark. So I disconnected that wire from the bracket. I just jismed it. Choke. Why doesn't it start? So I don't know why it doesn't start, but I do remember that when this was mounted on the Dayton, on the right rear engine mounting bolt, there was a ground strap attached to the frame of the tractor. Could the sump cover be aluminum, and that's why they needed a ground strap? So I tested it, and while cranking I felt a jolt on my hand. I couldn't really see it. I think I saw it. I think it's getting spark, but it just won't start. So I'm going to try a ground strap to it, and also I'm going to mount the gas tank to it with a gravity feed right to the carburetor, so it's getting gas and not harsh chemicals, you know, like carb spray, whatever. I'm going to do that in a minute, but right now I'm going to finish taking apart the Dayton and putting it to the curb. I took the transmission off. I figured I'd keep it because I know it works. And just taking the frame and taking it apart, taking some pulleys and stuff that I need, and then putting it to the curb. Gas in it and started right up. This is the magneto kill wire. I'm going to attach this to the switch. And I have to figure out what to do about this muffler. It's going to burn a hole through that tire. All right. Successfully did an engine swap. Got the Dayton tractor onto the curb. Going to throw it out. Now we've got a full-fledged hauler with a good transmission. Wheels, I don't know. I'm gonna have to do something about the wheels. Maybe I'll put those 20s onto here, and we'll be good. Well, we have a good hauler, huh? How about it? I just hold on to it until I sell it. If I don't sell it, I might run into a deck, put the deck on here, maybe I'll get another engine, put the engine on here. But right now, I feel much better that we have a much better conditioned tractor as a hauler, as opposed to that Dayton, which had a very, very rough shifts. I hooked up the magneto, now I turn it off. It's off. Sweet. That's all I needed to do, is just like 3 wires. You got the stator going back to the power to recharge the battery, got the black one that goes to the magneto, and then everything else was already connected to the solenoid. So as long as you hooked up battery power to the tractor, solenoid's going to get power. It's going to shoot 12 volts to the starter. Whole thing is grounded on the frame, so it was just, 2 wires. Oh, what a shame, what a shame. Old Dayton's thrown to the curb. I'm also throwing away my silly Craftsman jack. I've tried to fix it a million times, won't work. Just won't stay up.
That's what she said.
I know my friend Rick Broerman really wanted this hood, but sorry, buddy. Sending it to you all the way where you are wouldn't be financially conducive to either of us. So just enjoy it right now because it's going to the scrapyard. Lights too. All right, well, I'm scorched. I kept this tire. I swapped the big tires off of the Dayton, put it on there because they hold air. Fronts were the Daytons. Daytons are over here. Put some fronts on there. Now all 4 hold air. I gotta get a new muffler because look, the LT1000 hood doesn't fit with this kind of muffler unless I cut a hole on the side of the, but still, it's no good. Gotta get a muffler for that, right? Gotta get a seat. Gotta work out the governor and the throttle because it revs way too high. I'm gonna keep those tires, keep this transmission in the back for something else. A couple of pulleys that I picked off. That's an engine that Nick gave me. I'm gonna do a teardown video on why that's blown. That's always fun. I made a mess of my driveway again. Trying to take that muffler off to match another muffler. So it's the next day. I'm gonna finish off this project today by getting another seat, fabricating some kind of muffler because that muffler just wasn't gonna work. And I found this. Fixed. So I've been mocking it up. I've tried 3 or 4 different mufflers, found some extra piping here and there, some bends, some curves. I found this one here that actually fits. So I measured, banged this one in there, gonna do some tack welding there. Gonna stick weld this whole thing together and hopefully that'll work because it's the only choice. Okay, now that I welded it, foam died again because it's too hot. This exhaust pipe is sticking out too much hitting that, so it's not allowing me to match up the holes. So you just gotta cut it off. Muffler fixed. Not the perfect fit, not the perfect welds, not by a long shot, but it works. Now the seat. All right, now that the muffler's fixed, look what I found. Look, this seat's in good shape. I don't even know where I got it from. Find some bolts, good to go. Fixed. Not that you need it, but I have it. So why not put one on? Air filter. The filter fish. So you guys know my buddy, Andy from Jericho.
Hey.
Anyway,
I'm Andy from Jericho.
He's like my best friend. We grew up together when we were really young. Out of all the years I've been doing YouTube, he's only watched a few of my videos and he doesn't learn a thing. So every time something happens to his mower, his lawn tractor, something technical, I gotta go and fix it, you know? You guys got a friend like that where you know how to do everything, and even though they've known you for so long, they don't learn anything from you. So no matter what happens to their shit, you end up fixing it for them because you feel like, well, he's my friend, I gotta help him. But I mean, Jesus, couldn't you just learn from osmosis? Anyway, this is what happened to his Toro recycler the other day. He broke the pull handle off. You know, just fixed the recoil starter by putting a new rope in, right? And then he took off the cover. I told him to bring the cover to me and I'll put a new rope in there for him. When he took off the cover, he saw a mouse. Oh, the poor thing. He was probably just waking up from his dinner or something. And then Andy from Jericho tried to start it and got his head lodged in between the recoil starter and the magneto. What a bad death for that mouse. Anyway, Andy's coming over. I have to fix his recoil starter. All right, now it looks like a real mower. See if this Super Clean can get some of this yellow overspray paint off. Wow! Holy cow! That tells you how strong Super Clean is. It'll take paint off. So Andy came over and it wasn't just the rope. The coil inside had the tab broke, so it wasn't catching on the thing too. So we couldn't really fix it without a new coil. And I don't really keep these around. I don't really have spares, so we had no choice but to just order a new one. It was only $15. So instead of going through hell try to get that to work. That was anticlimactic. Super Clean. And a grass scraper. Well, it's only one thing left to do now. Go for a ride. That's no good. It's blocking the fuel. Drained out the gas tank. Seat safety, but I didn't have a seat before. Why is it doing that? I had to bypass the magneto kill. I've done it a million times, so I knew how to do it fast. Yeah, riding around another free tractor. Smallest engine in an LT1000 that I've ever had. Whatever, it works. Wheels are straight from welding the front end. I guess I'll park it here for now. There you go, making two haulers into one working one that's in much better shape than the Dayton. I'm glad I got rid of the Dayton because I couldn't ride that anymore because you never knew whether it would shift or not. Did quite a lot of stuff to this thing, more than I wanted to, but it was interesting to do it. It's always interesting when you tackle something different, such as putting an 11 horsepower flathead into this LT1000. Paint came off with that super clean, got 4 tires on there, welded the front end, got a new seat for it. Just need a new battery. And I don't know, that engine's a little, it's not very reliable sounding, you know, and it revs really high. But I don't want to mess with it anymore. I'll sell this as is. If not, I'll hold on to it until I get another engine, maybe a deck, something like that, you know. It's better than keeping the Dayton around. I'm glad I got rid of the Dayton. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you subscribe, like, share if you enjoy small engine content like this. We'll see you guys all next time on Mowers and Blowers. Next time on Mowers and Blowers.